I am 92 years old, not in the inspirational way people like to imagine, not strong, not sharp, just old enough that nothing is hypothetical anymore. At this age, there are no plans, only recollections, no ambition, only patterns you finally see clearly. People assume age gives you answers. It doesn't. It gives you perspective, which is more uncomfortable. I have outlived my wife. I have outlived friends I thought were permanent. I have even outlived versions of myself I was once proud of. And something strange happens when you reach this point. You stop arguing with reality. You stop pretending that things worked out for a reason. You stop defending choices that were really just delays in disguise. You finally admit what actually mattered and how often you ignored it. Here is the first thing you should know. You are not wasting your life in big dramatic ways. You are wasting it quietly. You are polite about it, responsible about it, justified. That's what makes it dangerous. You tell yourself you're doing the sensible thing. You're building stability. You're being patient. That's exactly how I did it. I didn't ruin my life. I postponed it. I delayed joy the way adults do, with good reasons and neat explanations. Later, when things calm down. Later, when the timing is right. Later, when I've earned it. Later became a habit. And habits don't feel like mistakes while you're making them. They feel like maturity. Here's what no one warns you about. Time does not announce itself when it's leaving. It doesn't knock. It doesn't warn you. It just stops showing up. One day the house gets quieter. One day the phone rings less. One day you realize you are remembering more than you are anticipating. That's when you understand something too late. You were never running out of time. You were trading it for approval, for comfort, for the illusion of control. I remember entire years of my life only by what I was worried about, deadlines, numbers, outcomes that felt urgent and now feel meaningless. I cannot tell you what those worries bought me, but I can tell you what they cost. Missed dinners that never rescheduled themselves, conversations cut short because I was too tired, moments I assumed would repeat and didn't. Here's the cruel part. Nothing bad happened. That's why I didn't notice. Life didn't collapse. No tragedy forced me to stop. It just passed. Smoothly, efficiently, quietly. That's how most lives are lost. Not in flames and in spreadsheets. You think the things you're chasing are permanent. They aren't. Your career will forget you faster than you expect. Your title will shrink the moment you leave it. Your achievements will become trivia, then nothing. This isn't bitterness, it's observation. I once believed my work defined me, that it justified the sacrifices. What I didn't understand was this. Work does not love you back. It doesn't miss you. It doesn't age with you. It doesn't sit beside you when the house goes quiet. People do. And people don't wait. They grow older while you're busy. They get tired of rescheduling. They learn to live without you in the room. By the time you look up, the version of them you meant to be there for is already gone. That loss doesn't announce itself either. It doesn't arrive with drama. It arrives with distance. A shorter phone call, a missed holiday, a conversation that feels polite instead of alive. You tell yourself there will be time to fix it. There usually isn't. Thought relationships were durable. That love understood delays, that people knew my intentions even when I wasn't present. They didn't. They only knew what I gave them. And most of the time I gave them leftovers. Here's something else no one prepares you for. Success is loud when you're young. It applauds you. It introduces you to people who call you important. But it gets very quiet later. Trophies don't talk. Titles don't visit. Applause doesn't follow you home. At the end of the day, literally, you are left with whoever is still willing to sit beside you in silence. That's when the accounting begins, and it is ruthless. You don't measure life in years anymore. You measure it in absences. Who isn't here? Who should have been? Who you assumed would always be? I used to think regret came from failure. It doesn't. It comes from neglect, from the small choices that felt harmless, from saying not now too many times, from believing presence was optional. You don't notice the cost while you're paying it. You notice it when the bill is due. Let me be clear about something. This isn't about quitting ambition or rejecting responsibility or living recklessly. Those are young fantasies. This is about attention, where it goes, what it feeds, what it starves.